Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you all. So today I'd like to talk about the Bangladesh Forest and Tree Conservation Act 2026. So you know that during the time of Yunus regime, they have made a law that the law's name is Bangladesh Tree and Forest Conservation Act 2026. But in the time, it was not published by the parliament. For this reason, this ordinance was called as ordinance, not the law. But very recently, before 2 days ago, Bangladesh Parliament they have made a new laws. The law's name is Bangladesh Forest and Trees Conservation Act 2026. So the question may arise: what is the utilization? What is the demarcation? And what is the core benefit of the Forest Act 2026? You know that in the year 1927 there was made new laws. The law's name is Bangladesh Forest Act 1927. So from 1927 to 2026, it is actually 100 years. So during the 100 years, Bangladesh could not achieve the sustainable goal in protection of forest and forest related activities. So after the huge momentum, after the huge period of time, the previous Bangladeshi government, Bangladesh interim government, they believe that Bangladesh Forest Conservation Act will be the new addition for protection of the environment and the environmental management. You know that Bangladesh is actually very impactful on the biological development and the biological protection. And from this perspective, Bangladesh has a huge amount of responsibility over the biological matter and the biodiversity in Bangladesh. But the problem is that Bangladeshi people they are not concerned to follow the international principles like pollution free principle, polluter pays principle, prior notification principle, transboundary movement principle. In reiteration, our trees and forest has been violated since the mid of 1990. So in the year 1995, Bangladesh also made new laws, Bangladesh Environment Conservation Act 1995, but there was lots of limitation. After that, Bangladesh made individual laws regarding this factor to resolve the problem. But I think that the Forest Act is the new development. So the core objective of the Forest Act Forest and Trees Conservation Act 2026 is to make the sustainable development over the biological protection in Bangladesh. The second reason is that Bangladeshi people they will be much more conscious and knowledgeable about the matter of the biological development and the biological initiative which has been taken already article 18A of Bangladesh constitution. The third reason is that benefit sharing movement can be a very good issues by the Forest and Trees Conservation Act 2026. So this is the core three development procedure of Bangladesh Trees Conservation Act 2026. The another development issues, you know that very recently Bangladesh government they have declared the environmentally critical area. So why the environmentally critical area is actually important? Because in the environmentally critical area there are lots of trees, and these trees are important not for our own development but for our economic, social, cultural, political, or the geographical development. So by the Forest Act it is actually important to save, to make the 100% protection of the environmentally critical area. And I think that by taking the effective measurement, environmental critical area will be get the highest protection. And that's why Bangladesh Environmental Conservation Act 1995 will again implement in the another version of the polluter pays principle. So after observing the whole procedure, still I believe that Bangladesh Environmental Conservation Act is the first mother laws or the umbrella legislation to solve out the matter of the environmental protection. And you know that environmental protection it is not the individual way, it also related huge steps of development, developmental policy, and forest related activities will be solved out. Forest related activities will be covered up by the Forest Act 2026. And I would like to thank you, the Bangladesh government, to take the effective initiative for promoting the universal convention conservation, and most probably it will be the another milestone for the government of Bangladesh to remake the new development named Bangladesh Forest and Trees Conservation Act 2026. Thank you.